Hello, I'm EnterElysium and welcome to Aurora 4X, the incredibly in-depth, frustratingly amazing space strategy game. We're currently building up the Sol system at the moment. We're a little bit afraid. There have definitely been hostile aliens nearby. They've destroyed 2 of our science ships for no reason, but we have also found aliens who haven't shot us on sight. They did admittedly just ask us nicely to leave, but hey, at least they asked nicely. We've also encountered a huge space battle going on in the Lewis system, which we rapidly just ran away from. So, we've got a few things to do today. One of which is that we have a much expanded map. We're going to continue just expanding a little bit out from some of these systems, but it's looking pretty good so far. We also do need to take advantage of the latest motion to be passed by the legislature, which is the Preemptive Defense Act for Humanity Survival. Basically, it says that we need a 50,000-ton minimum military defense craft. Okay. Well, we've got about 50,000 tons of fax being built. So that should count. And it says we need a 30,000-ton land force. That's what we don't have. We're going to have to work on that. So let's bring up our research. What we're doing for ground. We're doing heavy vehicle right now, and that's going to be done about a year and a half. Yeah, we're going to need to chuck a lot more people towards that. Which is a shame. I was really looking forward to having the stellar fusion reactor. But let's chuck some people at that. Okay, that's going to be a year. We kind of need to up that a bit more. Okay, I guess away from the fusion weapon. November. Yeah, there are a few other things we'll need to do with our ground forces. Like, if we have a look at ground combat, you'll see that we have powered infantry armor. Yes, we would definitely like power armor. That sounds awesome. We also, if it's actually going to build this and it's going to be like a defensive army, we're going to want to have construction equipment because it allows you to like entrench yourselves and dig in. What else do we want? That's probably it for now. That's 5,000. That's 2,000. That's 7,000. So we gotta work on that. And that's a kind of like a minimum. Like I don't really want to go. We kind of even want heavy static armor. Static armor is effectively armor for an emplacement, like, you know, a bunker or something. So, something that would be useful for defensive purposes, definitely. In fact, the heavy vehicle, we probably don't want that on defensive. They're actually going to cancel that outright. And then we'll grab construction equipment. That's required for defensive, because it allows you to dig in, and digging in can make a huge difference to fighting. It's ridiculous. So that will take until 67. Yeah, we're gonna have to speed that up. 3 years, and then doing anything after that, we're gonna be maybe not getting it done in this term. So I guess the ship-to-ship tractor beam is gonna get delayed. The cost savings I don't want to mess around with because we don't want to do stuff after that. Another one's going from the tractor beam. Alright, March, 2 years. That'll have to do. So, the first thing we actually want to do today after that is we're going to have a look at some of these new systems. And we're going to have a look around and see if any of them are worth us actually, like, going for. We haven't finished our survey yet. We do need to finish, like, Distant Roman. We do need to completely finish Yabu. And obviously Davet and some of the offshoots and Yabashido we do need to do as well. So we could wait for that, but they'll take a little bit longer. We can always look at them later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flick through a few systems and see if there's anything we're missing that we could maybe consider trying to take. Because we're getting to that phase where we're going to start expanding soon once we start stabilizing our jump points. So, having a look at Calica, you can see that we've actually got a few things pretty good here. I know the last episode I was kind of like, oh, we don't need to go to Calica. Like, what's in Calica that we need? Actually, it turns out a lot. Calica A1, the only planet. I mean, the concentrations, there's a lot of 0.1s, but there's also 0.3, 0.5, 0.9. Overall, we'll be mining a lot of stuff here. And the concentration is, you know, overall pretty good when you add them all together, but the amounts, this is going to keep funding us forever. It's right next door. Now obviously we can't really colonize it. It's impossible to colonize because it's just got such a huge atmosphere and a high temperature, we're never going to be able to colonize it. Actually, physically never going to be able to, regardless of how many terraformers we throw at it. But we could put like auto mines on it, or we could put like an orbital habitat above it, and this orbital habitat could send people down to mine the planet or something. Having a look at the comets, they're reasonable. I mean, Macassium is there. Geranium, not much of it, but some geranium. Macassium. That's 500,000 geranium. That's not to be sniffed at. Again, Macassium. Bit of carbonite. Bedarite. Yeah, like this is all good stuff. Like, Calica's a pretty good system. In fact, so good that I think we will just plop a colony down here. I mean, admittedly, you don't do anything with it. We're not actually going to put anyone living on the planet because they would just die. Okay, the Hoyle system, which is down here, kind of this little offshoot from Strategist. I mean, it's got a gas giant with a tiny bit of thorium. We don't really care about that. What we do care about is this, a dormant construct. On a pretty, terraformable world. It's pretty easy to live on. It's got a lot of 0.1 availability materials. Well, that's something. I mean, put them all together and you've got like 0.6. And the amounts are good. But what we care about here is this dormant construct. Now, these are basically like ancient machine things left by like our previous race, and they might do some cool stuff if we activate them or whatever. Now, to do that, we'd have to send a xenoarchaeology team to go and investigate, which we don't have the tech for just yet. We need to maybe learn how to teach people about xenoarchaeology. But that's really cool. We should definitely put this down as like a colony that we should go to. You'll also see that we've got a load of asteroids here, all of them full of stuff. Like, hey, maybe not much stuff there. Bit better. Not much, not much. They do get better, though. This one here, look at it. 1 availabilities. Like, it wouldn't last very long, but we'd get all of it pretty quick. We could just then move on, I guess. That seems to be true for most of the asteroids in this system. Oh. Look at that one. It's got pretty much everything. And then this one, these comets, look at that amount. Hell, this place is actually pretty good. The planet is kind of weird. It's only 0.1s, but like the asteroids and stuff, hell yeah. I'm probably going to just plonk down colonies on pretty much everything. Actually, thinking about it, there are so many different things here all over the place. This might actually be worth setting up asteroid mining. Like, you can make orbital miners that mine from bodies. Now, the bodies have to be under a certain size limit, and you can increase that size limit as you go. But this is so full of them with, minor amounts, but in good quantity. It might be worth just making asteroid miners just for this. Of course, we'd need to send them through, which means we need to stabilize the jump point, but that's worth it, I feel. Yeah. That's probably what we're going to have to do to Hoyle, and then we can move them elsewhere later on. Ice Lord. Now, Ice Lord is a pretty nice system. Look at this. Okay, so obviously we're never going to really colonize this. It is technically colonizable, but the expense is just ridiculous. The pressure, the temperature, etc. But look at that, like 81 million geranium at 0.6. And then, carbonite, tritanium. Also got a load of other stuff at good amounts. The availability is pretty terrible, but otherwise, we're definitely going to use that. This planet over here, a lot of 0.1s. It's a shame because it is actually pretty colonizable. And hell, look at that. That's, 10 million of the stuff. Gas giant with 22 million thorium. We could maybe use that. This moon here, load of tritanium. Load of macassium, but a 0.1. An asteroid that we could definitely use. Yeah, but those would be asteroid miners. Yeah, this planet here, like, it's just unfortunate it's 0.1 availability. That's the issue. This, though, yeah. And we'll probably have to use, like, an orbital hab or something. Okay. Idril. Now, Idril is gonna be weird because it's actually beyond the void wall that we've set up a defensive stuff in Vulgaris. It's past Agent this way, so it's like, don't take the turn towards Lewis, take the turn towards Idril. Idril's actually really good. Look at this. We won't ever be able to colonize this. Again, it's another Vesuvian planet, but 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.3, 0.1, 0.1, 0.3, 0.1, 0.1. Good amounts. Yeah, we're colonizing that. And then we've got another planet we can't colonize. Why is that? Why can't we colonize you? Your temperature seems reasonable. Look at that. 0.1, 0.1. Acceptable gravity. Oh, apparently that is too high a gravity. Let's find out what our gravity limit is. I thought it was higher than that. Ideal gravity is 1. Maximum gravity deviation, 0.9. Oh, it's 1.91, isn't it? Okay, yeah, so we can go down to 0.1 gravity or go up to 1.9 gravities. Okay. This is 0.01 too higher gravity. Which is just a horrific shame, because otherwise this is almost perfect as it is. The oxygen amount is slightly too high. No. This would actually be maybe livable. I think the temperature is just a little too high. Otherwise, we could just live on this. It's just... so close. Okay, we're going to create a colony. And we'll just have to, like, put orbital habits or something. We've got a super Jovian here, nothing on it. We've got a moon here, which could be habitable. Obviously, we need to up the atmospheric pressure, give it more oxygen, up the temperature. But it's pretty decent. And look at those stats. Like, that's a lot of stuff. Yeah. Okay, next. Again, this is something that we could maybe eat with an asteroid miner. It is a moon, so we'd have to work on that. This dwarf planet. Some Sarium here. That's 1/3 of a million neutronium at 0.6. That's probably worth it for the neutronium. That's 57 million dranium at 0.4. Like, if it wasn't that much, I'd ignore it. But yeah, we're going to create a colony. Again, this is just large quantities, etc. Sure, we'll create a colony. Idril's turning out to be pretty good. It's too small an amount. Ooh, if I needed Macassium, I'd come here, but Macassium is not going to be as commonly used. Carbonite, you know what, why not? It might be something like we chuck down some auto miners or something. But yeah, we're definitely going to be of interest in moving to Idril. The problem is that does mean moving past Vulgaris, through Agent, etc. Now, Jazza's an interesting case, because obviously we've got aliens in Jazza who don't want us to be there. They have actively said, hey, can you leave? Because this is ours. But if you have a look at this, a lot of almost colonizable asteroids, and it's a huge list of them. Look at Jazza 1, 10 million dranium at 0.6. Obviously, you know, it's a Vesuvian, we're not really going to be colonizing it, but like 20 million Venturite and Iridium? Damn. Neutronium? Almost 180 million neutronium. Admittedly at 0.1, but that's a lot of 0.1s. They add up. Some Sarium in the Super Jovian, not enough to really worry about. Again, good amounts here, good availability. Crazy good amount for good availability here at Jazza 4, and it's colonizable. Again, like, colony cost 2, we'd need to do something with the atmosphere, like actually give it one. This dwarf planet, nothing on it. Then these asteroids, look at them. Good availability. Asteroid miner have field day. This one up here, look at it. Damn, we're talking several 100,000. And it actually is counted as an asteroid, but it's got enough gravity for us to live on it. It's got 0.118. That's over our minimum 0.1. This is actually just livable if we gave it an atmosphere. And we can keep going. Like, there are so many asteroids here, including ones with quite high quantities. I can see why they want the Jazza system. The problem is, like, as much as we might want the Jazza system because of all these minerals, we can't fight them off. They are scary and we have nothing. So look at that corundium. What a mill. This is a beautiful system. It just makes me very sad that we can't go to it. Obviously the Lewis system. Surprisingly disappointing. Alright, the Neltab system. This is at the extreme range. 1, 2, 3, 4. So take that, you know, with a pinch of salt. Also means taking the turning away from Dracons, so a bit risky. But quite a habitable planet here. We'd actually, it says 2, but that temperature is going to take a bit to reduce. But if you have a look, we've got pretty reasonable minerals. Admittedly, it's not picking up like the core ones. It's got corundium. That's the most important out of the ones it's really got. Geranium isn't high enough to really register. Thorium would actually make reasonable fuel. Okay. And then you go down, you've got this terrestrial planet. And this one is the just, wow. Now, it is technically colonizable. The pressure's only 30, which for a Vesuvian is pretty low. But there's no way we're going to want to really deal with that. But look at that. That's a lot of stuff. Again, a lot of 0.1s, but you've also got a 0.7 in here. A 0.8, 0.3 on the neutronium. Like, this would be worth it. So, colony up, I guess. Then you go to this dwarf planet, bit of tritanium. And then this moon. Like, damn. That's 10 million geranium just sitting there. Sarium, Gallicite. And if you want the Vendorite, you could go here. We'll probably just leave it. But Neltab's pretty nice as well. Oh, I completely forgot. In Hoyle earlier, it has 4 stars. And one of the other stars has some quite interesting things. Like, look at this. This terrestrial planet here. That's pretty nice. We're going to colony up on that. Like, that's also pretty nice. Admittedly, the quality is low enough I won't really bother, but it's tempting. That's a good amount of geranium. Just sitting there on a moon. That amount of sarium's almost tempting. Again, sarium here. This sarium is actually something that we could maybe use that Jovian to refuel at. Admittedly, it is enough out the way that we probably won't use it. But and this moon, geranium's again pretty good. So create a colony. Yeah, Hoyle, thank you very much. Gunslayer C, which we missed, also has a gas giant with sarium, which might make a decent refueling stop, but it's not particularly far from Sol, but it's far enough that it might work. Okay, so Slaying Hurdle has a star that's so far out, we're never going to look at this. Because it's just 129 billion kilometers out. However, if we have a look at the first one, you'll notice that we do have a few that have stuff. Like, look at this. You know, nice. Slaying Hurdle. You've got some good stuff going on here. I appreciate it. Again, Vesuvian. Colony cost is roof. But whatever. The second one, hey, this is quite nice. Unfortunately, no minerals. The third one here has Sarium, Super Jovian. Not much of it, though. And then we've got Tritanium here. Again, might be worth doing something with. Sarium, not high enough. And the Boronite's high enough that it might be worth it, but otherwise, eh. However, if we look at the B... Oof. I mean, huge amounts of geranium at 0.1, but also tritanium at 0.8. Might be worth a few auto mines. And then this one. A lot of 0.1s, except for Macassium, which is a 1. But the quantities are so good that, hell yeah. Like, both of these are Vesuvians, so again, we're not going to be colonizing them. Actually, this one's only a 10 colony cost, which for a Vesuvian is pretty crazy. Okay. And then down here, if you want Sarium, if you want Iridium, not bad. It's vaguely, and I say vaguely with like a kind of air quotes around it, vaguely livable. Here's the thing. We're not going to be living on this planet. Colony cost too high. We're not going to be living on this one because it's low gravity, and I'm often not a fan of having to deal with low gravity infrastructure. You can. Special type of infrastructure, which is low gravity infrastructure, which is basically like it will have centrifuges and stuff built into it so that people can get artificial gravity. However, although this has pretty meh amounts, what we could do is set up a small colony here and have everything mass drive it to this colony, which will mine a little bit. So I think we will actually create a colony here, if only to be the central processing hub of all these minerals. That seems pretty good to me. Slaying hurdles a bit out of the way, but it is next to subject delta, which we wanted to hit anyway. Now, subject delta was a nice one. Again, we had this kind of mixed messaging of 0.1s, but with the geranium, and of course, quite good availability. There were a few other things, like we're looking at 500,000 geranium here, just sitting on this moon. So we're going to colony up on that. We've got Gallicite down here. It's worth colonying up just to chuck, you know, a few auto mines on it. Cobmite, we could do, but it's 0.1, so we're probably going to pass. This one, it's got a 0.6, a 0.2, and a 0.1. I think that's probably worth it overall. This asteroid, yeah, that's pretty tasty. We will drill through that pretty quick, but sure. Now, if we actually have a look at B, there's nothing here. And at A, well. The Sarum is not worth worrying about. But this, again, a Vesuvian, we're not going to colonize it. The amounts and the availabilities add up to be worth it. And, of course, we can mass drive them to the Delta C planet and then just ship it off of Delta C. So we'll set that up. Okay, so Zanmar. 1, 2, 3 jumps. It's actually pretty reasonable. We've obviously set up one here already on a reasonable place. We've got another one over here. It's less likely to be a good colony because the colony cost is, 8.6. The higher the colony cost, the more infrastructure it takes to allow people to live there. Like, colony cost 2. Your infrastructure is going to get far more people. In fact, I believe it is exactly like 4 point something times than, say, Zanmar 3. The colony cost is effectively a multiplier on it, I think. But again, this is worth it. Geranium, along with some Tritanium Gallicite going on there. And then we have some interesting asteroids. This one here with the Boronide is pretty tempting just to chuck down an auto miner on. This one, it has neutronium, and that's what swings it for me. We will, again, probably have to relocate those when it runs out, but whatever. That's pretty, okay. I wouldn't say that's going to be the most amazing system for us, but it's certainly going to be a good system. And then we've got the Yabu and the Yabushidu. Now, Yabu's only 80% complete at this stage, and Yabushidu's not. So we're not going to have like an in-depth study of this, but having a look, that's a lot of 0.1s with good amounts. So almost tempting. Again, Vesuvian. This terrestrial planet, 0.6, 0.9, 0.1, good amounts. It has ice fields, it has ice sheets, it has a temperature that's low. The atmosphere is actually 0.19 atmospheres. Okay, this is kind of showing all the signs of this would be not too difficult to terraform. If we bump the temperature enough that the ice sheet starts to melt, it causes the albedo of the planet to plummet, because obviously ice reflects light, and by reflecting the light, it doesn't take the heat in from the light from the sun. As soon as the ice sheet melts, that light is not being reflected as much, and it gets absorbed, so the temperature of the planet actually takes like a good, maybe up to 10 degree jump in temperature. So potentially, this wouldn't be as hard to colonize as that suggests. Do we want to do it? That's the question. Now, down here, again, pretty tempting. Tempting. I think the number of things here makes this a go. So, yes. Iridium, even if we only set up auto mines or whatever. What do we have down here? Again, we're talking enough quantity overall. That's worthwhile. Enough quantity that's worthwhile. You probably, again, going to be auto mines or do habs from orbit or something. Due to the quantities, the availability of 0.1s, probably going to err more on the side of just chucking down some auto mines and going for a long burn. Won't worry too much about that. But Yabu so far is looking good, and that's only 80% looked at. We still haven't looked at this dwarf planet. And I think there are going to be asteroids we haven't looked at and moons we haven't looked at either. I'm filtering it currently by with minerals. It always shows all planets, so it's showing this planet despite the fact we haven't looked at it yet. And, you notice that there's planets here that also don't have minerals. The M means minerals. Right. That's all of them. Obviously, there's Yabashido, but we haven't looked at anything here. Potentially could be good. Like, there is a planet here with reasonable temperature. It's got a liquid hydrosphere. The atmosphere needs work, but the temperature's fine. The atmospheric pressure's fine. Potentially a good pick, but that's going to take some while. Now, one of the things to bear in mind that there is a maximum population that your actual planets can hold. For instance, Earth here has a maximum population of 12 million. 12 billion. 12 million would be not very much at all. So actually, about 1/12 the way towards that. Our population right now is 1.1 billion. Okay, so we're getting towards that. So when we close that, we're going to go 5 seconds forwards. And we now have a whole load of things set up. I'm just going to minimize everything. Except for the one we're obviously using, because we haven't actually colonized any of these yet. And that way I know, hey, these are our good options. Once we start moving properly beyond the solar system, we can use these. Obviously, none of them are in Mr. Grey, none of them are Strategist, and none of them are Volgara, so we can't take advantage of these yet. We will be. One thing I've also done is I've told one of our ships to actually, instead of going to Slaying Hurdle, to go to Ice Lord. Slaying Hurdle is actually still decent, so we'll probably go back and we'll reinforce that jump point. Also, this is way too much fighty music. Like, calm down. Oh, crap. Davit, new hostile salvo contact. Do we know where they're from? They're fossilites. Okay. That same enemy force that we had to deal with so far is firing on us again. We've met them in Unique Fossil, we've met them in Dracon, and now it appears they've got forces in Davit. This is really cutting off a whole load of expansion that we could be looking into. Let's see what this does. And we got wrecked. Each missile was 6 explosive. And catastrophic failure, and we escaped. Gemma Morsink failed to escape. Tyler Mapulon actually did escape. However, yeah, there's no way anyone's really going to get there in time. It seems those missiles came from Davit A3. And the range, 70 million, would back that up. Because, I've talked previously about what I expect to be missile engagement range, and I've, mentioned 70 million is the ballpark for a typical long-range missile engagement. Not as in that's long for a missile, in that that's just a long-range engagement, and it is by missiles. Like, 70 million is where I expect missile ranges to be. I think Davit A3 has a hostile force either in orbit or on the ground. Let's look at Davit A3. That makes sense, because it is easy to colonize, it is a cold desert planet, it has a liquid hydrosphere, and it has an atmosphere, and its temperature is quite reasonable. This would actually be quite easy to terraform. I think there is someone hostile in or around Davit A3. Now, unfortunately, we don't really have a way to deal with this, so for now, we're going to make Davit off limits. That's just going to be the case. Oh dear, yeah. So, I was planning to, reorganize the map once we'd explored a little bit more from these two, so that we knew, how many offshoots they had. Maybe we can still sneakily get round to this other jump point or something. We'll have to figure something out. But that is yet another Sophie set down. And Commander Tyler Mapulon is going to die. Okay, we completed our research and shipyard operation time cost saving. It's only 5%, but hey, it's something. Then we want to go down to construction production. And we could do fire production. We could do ordnance production. Orbital mining module. Again, mentioned this. This is what we could use to like start going through oil and clearing up a load of stuff. Pretty tempting. I might want to go shipbuilding rate. Be able to get our ships out quicker. Yeah, shipbuilding rate's probably the way to go here. Ooh, that will be done. 69. Nice. It's going to take 5 years. Oof. Yeah, the research is killing me here. I think we probably want to do that. Then maybe grab the orbital mining module. And then we're going to go straight in for like that long-term, let's up our research rate kind of thing. Okay, the Father Prax 001's completed orders. It's just stabilized the Vulgaris end of the Vulgaris agent jump point. So we're not going to stabilize the other end. However, Idril is so tempting, we might want to. We can always fall back to Vulgaris if we need to, but this will be a little bit of a... We do have a mandate to start setting down colonies, or at least mining facilities, both to the east and to the south, but it doesn't say we can't do so up here. We also have fire control speed rating from Sarah Borealis, so let's deal with that one first. I do want to do the 3000 as well. I think we want to do the active grav sensor for now. Yeah, and we'll put maybe 4 onto this. Yeah, now that frees up a nice 3, and we can use this 3 to increase our shipbuilding rate significantly. And then we'll put 1 on construction. Yeah. Okay, and then we need to go to... This is a risk, but Idril is so worth it. I think it's something we have to do. Let's stabilize the jump point. There we go. Take your time. Okay, so the osmium, which is in Yabu, is saying it's done. So yeah, Yabu's been 100% surveyed, so we're going to just pop Yabu open and have a look. Okay, what we got? Well, we know we've put up shop on a few of these. Yeah, the rest of them, yeah, so you did a good job. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yabu's the end of the road for you. So, we've got a top secret mission. We're not going to jump through any of these jump points. That's fine. That's kind of beyond your mission parameters. What we're going to do is we're going to have you come back to Sol, then go into Davit, which, yes, there are enemies on that planet or around that planet. But from what I've seen, I don't think they're moving from that planet. So we'll have you move to Strategist. I need to manually order you to do this because otherwise it won't appear on the list because I've blocked access. And now, if we actually have a look at Davit here, you notice that when we come through from Strategist, we can go straight to the unexplored jump point without going past that planet. So let's do that. Okay, we got our visible light laser. We also got a load more fish teas. Let's whip out our energy weapons. Hello, 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 hello. There we go. The turret tracking speed is actually pretty quick to do, although we aren't working on the other side of the technology. You really need to have your turret tracking tech and then your fire control tech to kind of match. What do I want to grab here? I probably do want to grab the turret tracking. And I'll remove 1 lab from you. we can put you onto the shipbuilding rate. Okay, we've actually produced a load of Gladius, and also we have produced a whole bunch of Ground Force construction complexes. So we're going to reallocate the Ground Force construction complex 5%. And considering our wealth is fluctuating a little bit, it's actually okay now. It was fluctuating a bit before, but that's enough. We'll just put the 5% towards something that doesn't need people to live in. Work in, I mean. I was looking at infrastructure and I was like, live in. Yeah, no, we actually probably want more infrastructure. I'm thinking that, like, if we're going to expand beyond the Sol system, we're going to need the infrastructure. Or we're going to need automated mines, or we're going to need mass drivers. You know what? Let's start upping the percentage of mass drivers. If we're going to start going all over the place, let's add another 30 to that. Automated mines, let's add another 4 to that to make that 400. And yes, let's add the 5 to that as well, so the 5% can help push that up. It's going to take ages to build that many. We've only got 110 automated mines. Oh god, okay. Yeah, we need to really push that number up. We haven't needed them so far in the Sol system, but we will eventually. How are we doing in terms of pop? Work shortage 40 million. 1 million available there. Less than a mil. Less than a mil. Less than half a mil. Okay. Someone's going to want to start shipping over more mines soon. Everyone's kind of busy. What about future planets? Yeah, I've given everyone kind of like very long infrastructure orders. Oh well, they can hold out for a little bit longer. In terms of industry here, I'm going to say this infrastructure, let's build another 20,000. Just because since we are going to be expanding. We've also discovered the Tholius system, which has 6 planets, 1 asteroid, 2 comets, and both planets are vaguely habitable. Okay. Actually, they just need atmospheres, really. This one's got 0.4 atmosphere. The temperatures are pretty decent. Yeah. Hopefully they're not as ominous as this music suggests. Also got to deal with the missile situation. We should probably get some spare Gladius missiles, so let's get another 320. Yeah, and how are we doing for our fighter production? Yeah, doing okay so far. Okay, we just got the Fishty command variant, which means if we refresh here, you'll see we have a beautiful list of 50 ships. Yeah, that's a lot of ships. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly create subfleet. This is going to be battle fleet. I can spell. Detach. And then we're going to rename you. It was going to be the... Now, this is mandated by the policy set forwards by the leader of the opposition. They wanted to name the military after the opposition party, which apparently people voted for. So they're known as the Base Defensive Readiness Force. So there we go. That is our defensive armada. Now, one thing I will say is please turn your sensors on, because by default your active sensor's not on. You can't just say active sensor on. There's no button down here for it. But you can go somewhere, or at Earth, go to Earth, and turn your sensors on. Now they'll do that. Let's also have a look at their ammo count. They have no ammo. Would you like to resupply and refuel? Did I give them ammo? Oh, you don't have ammo. Oh yeah, okay, that might be why you haven't actually loaded. From what I can recall, your missile fire control has a range of 41 million, and your missile had a range of 32. So I believe the name is cut off. That is really helpful. There we go. Range 32. So now I should be able to just say, hey, would you like to refuel, resupply, and load ordnance from Colony? And you should then load a whole bunch of missiles. It will take some time. There's a lot of people to load there. There we go. Not quite full on ammo. Last one's at 50%. Apparently also having problems assigning commanders. Do we have enough? Like... a lot of available commands here. Yeah, we've only got a few unassigned officers, and I'm guessing that's because they only just got promoted or something. We need far more officers than we have. So they'll still operate, they just won't be as, effective. We're going to go construction. Let's check. Military Academy is level 4. Right, that's not good enough for us. Okay. Well, we're going to need another, maybe couple of military academies. Who's going to be finished next? Some of these 10%. Construction factory, financial center. We can't let production of financial center drop, which means we've got to consistently keep building them. But a couple of years' time, sure. We'll build another 4. That'll keep us in, bread for a while. And we'll say... oh, whoops. Create. Now that will go down here as waiting. Which is, if everything gets completed, you'll be building this and 90% nothing, which just... it's weird. I don't like the wait queue in this game, because... if, say, a 25% project gets completed, you'll get your 10% bumped up, and then 15% will just be sitting there. It's a bit weird. Or if your 5% goes, this won't get bumped up because it's 10%. It'll wait. So it's a bit frustrating. Financial centers, I'm going to say to build more, because we got to keep doing that. Research facilities are good. I think, again, we will try and bump that up. Okay, the Tetlums actually discovered a new jump point in the Tholis system. Instead of, searching for more minerals and stuff, I'm actually just going to start popping around and exploring jump points, and then we can backfill. This way, we'll have a good idea of the map ahead. We don't know the value of the systems, but we'll know where they are. Oh, we discovered a new jump point in Yabashido. Well... going to take advantage of that. Yes. Silver. Jump through that. Okay, we found the Sleepy Zoe system. Which, oh my. This planet is almost livable. What is the issue? Is it the temperature? It's the temperature. It's so close to being livable. We just need to drop the temperature by a few degrees. It's a swamp world. I mean, there could also be aliens living on it, but hopefully there aren't. This is a lovely place. It's got a pretty nice system. There are 117 moons, 10 planets, 62 asteroids. Wow, okay. Well, this system is here. Well, let's not beat around the bush. Movement orders. Don't do the grav surveys first. Let's find out. Is this taken? Because if it isn't taken, we're damn well taking it. I mean, presumably, there's got to be something useful here other than just planets. There needs to be like minerals. But let's go to that planet that might be livable and check if anyone else has like claimed it. Because, you know, I kind of hope they haven't. Okay, we found the new Vastran system, which... Ooh, hello. The issue here is the atmosphere isn't thick enough, and it could do with more oxygen. Other than that, the temperature's fine. It's got a liquid hydrosphere. Okay, pretty tempting. I will say to the silver, though, like, as much as this is lovely, go back to Yabashido and go through the unexplored jump point, because that will mean that 1, 2, 3, 4, that will be the far, you know, reaches of where we push. The only thing we won't have decided is Tholius. It could have more jump points. I want to kind of fill out the map at this stage. Oh, okay. Silver, what problems are you having? Transit. Transit. There we go. Yeah, no jump drafts to do the thing. Yeah. Okay, and the Thulium in Distant Roman is ready to jump through to its unexplored jump point. 1, 2, 3, and this will be the 4th. So yeah, that'll be the limit up there. Also, the Greys are complaining. Did I not give you a refuel order? It turns out that you do not have a refuel order. Whoops. Go back to Earth. Unload all installations and then refuel and resupply. And when you've done that, let me know. You're going to probably end up moving mines or something. Okay, this is the Chaos Chest system. It has 2 planets, both of which are Vesuvian. Okay. That's it. Okay, the Greys have done their thing, so I would like you to pick up mines. Not the explosive kind, because we also have those. And then I'd like you to drop them off at Io, Callisto, Europa, and Titan. Let's just check what the spare population is. One was going to be 1.5. One, consider that 1.5. So 10 mines for you, 20 mines for you, 20 mines for you, 30 mines for you. So this is going to get complicated fast. We would like you to go to Earth, load mine, go to Io, unload mine, go to Earth, load mine, go to Callisto, unload mine, go to Earth, load mine, go to Europa, unload mine, go to Earth, load mine, go to Titan, and then this is where we get weird. That's going to be 5 mines, because there's only 5 of you. So repeat it all once. That'll do 10 mines. Then to do the others, God knows. Oh, I know what we can do. We remove just Titan. And that's giving 10 to everyone and 5 to Titan. And then we repeat all of this again. We should give 20 to everything except for Titan, which gets 10. Okay, and now you should probably refuel at some stage. Yeah, that's the thing you should do. And then all I need to do is tell you to go to Io twice. I wish I kind of put the refuel order in. You know what? Let's sure, whatever. There we go. Right. Now go Earth, load, mine, Io, unload, Earth, load, mine, Io, unload, Earth, refuel, resupply. Now, in theory, that's going to work beautifully, and it probably have cocked up somewhere, but whatever, you know, it's maybe going to be a beginning of a beautiful plan that's not going to work at all, or whatever. Anyway. And we now have the system of Aliviz, which terrestrial world over here, a bit too cold for us. Wow. Okay, 9 planets, 87 moons, 263 asteroids. Wow, that's a lot of asteroids. I am intrigued. Okay, Osmium, if you can finish the survey in Tholius, I think that is pretty much everything done except for the very fringes, which only need to be surveyed. They don't need to be acted upon. We did find a jump point in Sleepy Zoe, which 1, 2, 3, 4 is the far edge, so we're okay on that one. Okay, we got ourselves construction equipment. Thank you very much. Which means we can grab ourselves... I don't think we're going to be able to grab the heavy armor for static emplacements, but we could maybe grab the... where is it? Light infantry armor. And that'll be done nice and quick because we're chucking 10 labs at that. And we got our Stellarator fusion reactor, which in and of itself is like, that's nice, but what we really want is the magnetoplasma drive technology. 20,000, it's going to take ages, but it is good. And hell, by ages, it's only going to be 5 years, and that's a really good drive. So yeah, we definitely want to start researching that. And we also completed the construction factories. So I guess we don't need to worry about that anymore. And we've begun our production of military academies. I've also queued a few other things up, but our military academies are now under work. And hopefully that would maybe solve our horrific issue with the worker shortage. Although, that said, it's helped a little bit. Okay, we also got our turret tracking. So let's reassign you. Your engine, not engines, NG weapons. I can speak. 4,000. Do we want to go up to 4,000? I mean, we don't have the other technology for it, but we want to get that eventually. 4,000 is kind of like the letter when it comes to, you know, tracking speed. Obviously, you want more, but 4,000 is like a nice start. Yeah, why not? We'll indicate the 3. That's fine. I also want to have a check-in on the Tholius system, because it's taking a while to actually research those jump points. Survey locations. Oh, okay. They're actually pretty far apart. That's why it's taking a while. Right, we got a shipbuilding rate buff. Gonna grab fighter production rate because it's quick. And we also got our powered infantry armor. Which means that... I wonder if we could maybe fit in that static armor. I don't think we can. I mean, by 68. You know what? That's not the worst. What if we were to rip a few labs off you and apply them here? August 68? Sure. And then we can use that to help defend. Okay, Grav survey has been completed in Tholius. And they found nothing. Thank you. Okay, so this is actually going to be the map of 4 jumps from Sol. This is every single jump point. 4 jumps from Sol, barring unique fossil. And also barring Lewis. Lewis actually would have a load coming off it. Might even have more, we don't know. We haven't finished the survey. Unique fossil has 2 coming off it. Lewis has at least 4. But this means I can now rearrange this between episodes and have it look a little bit more sensible. Actually, it looks not terrible right now, but it could be improved, especially because we're going to have stuff coming off here eventually. They're all going to collide. But jobs are good. For now, we're going to call it. I've been EnterElysium. If you want to get involved in the Discord and all the interactivity and stuff, the policies, for instance, the policy that now mandates we have 50,000 tons of shipping, which we do, and 30,000 tons of ground forces, which we don't yet. We're going to work on that. Then feel free to pop over there and get involved. For now, I've been EnterElysium. Like, subscribe, comment down below, hit the bell icon, or just go to the Discord and check out the announcements channel where all my videos will be posted. Until next time, stay shiny.